Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to the Scene of Tarot with me, Natasha. I'm so happy that you guys have made it here today. If you're one of my subscribers, then welcome back. Thanks for choosing another video to watch, and if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you enjoy your reading and you stick around and maybe hit subscribe. So today's video, it's a bit, obviously it is a heavier topic. It may cause you to, you know, feel a bit triggered, but today it's what's blocking you. So this can be like whether it's related to karma, whether it's just something, you know, that you're kind of experiencing that's blocking you. And so this can be anything. It can be blocking you from your happiness, whether it's blocking you in love, career, or just generally in life. So we have 3 piles for you today. We have pile 1 here with pyrite. We have pile 2 in the middle with the citrine crystal, and then we have pile 3 with the lovely opalite. So have a think about which one you're drawn to, whether you are drawn to a particular crystal, or even if it is the numbers in the timestamp, whatever works for you. Then pop down to the description box or the comment section and click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you guys there. Hi pile 1, if you chose the pyrite crystal, this is your reading. So we are going to be looking at what is blocking you, and also importantly how you can move past that block. So keep watching for both sections of the reading. Obviously if you feel like you're watching it and you're like, this does not sound like me at all, then do pick another pile or perhaps pick another reading. There'll be lots of people that have similar readings to this. So, first of all, what is blocking you? So I'll get those cards out for you first. So we have the World. We have Strength. 9 of Swords. 4 of Wands. And 7 of Swords. And we have the Oracle cards, Vision, 8, and we have Wishing, which is 19, which breaks down as a 1. So what is blocking you? So obviously you may be like, oh, looking at these cards and you're like, oh, there are all these, like, you know, happier cards. You know, you have the World, you have Strength, and you have the 4 of Wands. And with this today, I feel like a lot of this, I'm getting a message through kind of like the whole combination. So if I'm not picking up individual cards today, that's kind of why I'm kind of seeing it as like a big picture. And as I said, if you know yourself reading it and watching this and it doesn't resonate, then you know it's probably not the reading for you, because I feel like a lot of this is kind of specific. So in the center here, there is this there's this anxiety, you know, that lying up late at night. It's one of those things that I feel like this is like an underlying anxiety that maybe day to day you're getting through life, you're kind of not really experiencing it. And I feel like it's the sort of thing that when you're actually alone and by yourself, this is when you have this anxiety kind of creeping in. And I think for some of you, you've put a lot of pressure on yourself, and I feel like you are almost living a bit of a lie and not being entirely truthful to yourself, with this 7 of Swords as well. So so with both of them together, I do feel like there's this I feel like this anxiety is kind of triggered by, you know, feeling like you are lying to yourself and you're lying to the world. And I feel like the lie is kind of, I feel like you've maybe throughout your life you've kind of gone along with what other people wanted for you. So for some of you, I feel like this is obviously a very small minority, maybe only 1 or 2 people, that I'm kind of really drawn to this 4 of Wands card, where it looks like a marriage between a man and a woman. And for some people, I feel like it could be that it could be to do with your sexuality, and it could be that, you know, maybe you are married to somebody of the opposite sex, when truly deep down you kind of have this, you do have this knowing that, you know, you are gay, but maybe because of religious reasons, because of not being able to accept it, you've not ever come out. And I feel like there is kind of maybe even a lying to yourself. As I said, I feel like this is a very small minority of people who this is for. For some of you, I feel like it's just, you know, you're kind of, I feel like maybe your vision and for the future and this kind of wishing, I feel like the kind of future that you had wanted is very different to what you're living right now. So I feel like you have just gone along with it to appease people in your life. So whether that's parents, whether it is, you know, even teachers. Sometimes teachers can have quite a big effect on, you know, what it is we want to do. So whether it affected what courses you took at university, maybe you never even wanted to go to university and you ended up going to make people happy. I feel like you've gone down this path of doing things that you've never really wanted to do, and it feels like this is why there's like that anxiety at night, because it's kind of a knowing that the life that you're leading is not what you wanted. And I feel like on the surface, like, I feel like this is very superficial and on the surface. Like, the world makes me think of, you know, it's like to the world, this is what you're showing. You're showing the strength, you're showing this, like, happiness with that 4 of Wands, that joy. And, you know, the world, again, is a very joyful card. But I feel like underneath that, there is this anxiety and this feeling like a bit of a fraud, and feeling like a and kind of just lying to yourself, like making yourself think that, yeah, this is what I've always wanted, when you know what would actually make you happy. I think deep down you know what it is, and I think you do wish for a different life, and not that you wish to be a different person. I feel like that's totally not what it is. I feel like you don't look at yourself and wish you were someone else. I feel like it's just maybe regrets about not sticking up for what it is you wanted to do earlier in life. So I've got how are you gonna get through this? So we have for you here, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have 3 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Interesting, you've got that kind of progression from 9 of Swords to 10 of Swords. We have Death, and we have the Tower. We have Divine Matrix, Willing Release, and, you know, be bold and make the first move. So for you guys, you know, Knight of Pentacles, first of all, sorry, I'm just gonna try, there we go. Knight of Pentacles. So for this, I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is someone that is making progress, but they are doing it slowly, but they're kind of doing it methodically. So I do think that there needs to be a change in your life. Definitely, for sure, there needs to be a change in your life, especially seeing the sort of the death and the Tower and this 10 of Swords. I think how you move past this blockage is there does need to be, so you can see, you know, 10 of Swords, they have all the swords in the back, they kind of have that rock bottom. So I don't think you're going to hit like a rock bottom, but I think you need that moment in your life where something happens that triggers you to kind of reassess where you are. I think different people will have a different trigger. Sometimes it's you know, a breakup of a relationship, maybe a death of a family member. It can even just be, this pandemic could be what it is you need to trigger you into changing. Usually it's kind of that realization that the amount of time that we have on Earth, well, in this lifetime, is kind of finite. We don't have, who knows how long we have, whether it's you're going to live until you're 25, whether you're going to live to you're 105, we don't know. And there's a need to make the most of our time here, and we want to make sure that we're doing something that is going to bring us joy. Most of all, it is so important to be doing things that is going to make you happy and that brings like fullness to your life, rather than, you know, just focusing on, oh well, my parents wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is, so that's what I've done, and you kind of go through life not truly enjoying it. So I think there needs to be something, there's going to be something that will trigger it. So I do feel like for a lot of you, maybe this pandemic is it. I reckon this pandemic has caused a lot of spiritual awakening across the planet, with people having more time to themselves. And I don't see this as necessarily death. I'm seeing this totally more as a rebirth of who you are actually truly meant to be, and what you're truly meant to be. Someone that is happy, and someone that, you know, finds worth in their life, that isn't just plugging through and doing things because, you know, people told them that, oh, you should do this, and doing things because you're the one that wants to do it, and it's going to cause you happiness. So you do have the Tower here, so you have some very strong cards. These are very, very strong energies right here. But with this Tower, I really do feel like there will be a reassessment in your life. This, whatever it is that's triggered you, you're gonna have that kind of moment where you need to reflect, where you're like, is this the life I want to be leading? And if it's not, then doing something about it, whether it is retraining, whether it's leaving a relationship, whether it's coming out, whatever that is for you. Obviously this is very different depending on, obviously, each person. You have willing release here, and I feel like this release is of this kind of old life, and these expectations is what I'm hearing. So if people have always expected you to be a certain way, like, oh, this person, especially I'm getting a lot of particularly parental expectations, so thinking that you have to do these kind of high paying, high flying jobs, whatever it is. In my mind I am getting it, it's the usual suspects, the lawyers, the doctors, the bankers, people along those lines, particularly. But obviously it doesn't just because you're not doing one of those jobs doesn't mean that you may hate your job. You may not hate your job. So there is this need to willingly release these kind of expectations, I feel, more so than anything. And this Divine Matrix card, so it's all about, so here it says, weaving our dreams into the fabric of reality. I wanted to read that particular line because I feel like it's very very apt here. So it is about working out what it is your dreams are, what it is you want to be, what it is you want to do, and working out how to make those dreams a reality, because you did have wishing here as part of your block. So I feel like you almost haven't had your own dreams for a while. I feel like you've just been going along with other people's dreams for you. But I feel like now is the time for you to start having your own dreams and work out how to make them a reality. And, you know, it's okay that you're going to be a bit like a Knight of Pentacles. It may be slow, it may take time, but you will get there in the end, and just keep sort of plugging along. And I think partly how you'll do it as well is this, you have Three of Cups, and it makes me think of relying on friends and a support group, and, you know, having fun, having some joy in your life, because I feel like by having that joy, and that's when you're going to free up, when you're going to feel free and able to dream, and that's when I believe that you'll work out what it is that you truly want. And your final card here is be bold and make the first move, Cardinal Moon. So for this, I feel like, yeah, you have to, I feel like something is going to really trigger you, and you may make quite a bold move. Maybe it is, you know, enrolling to go back to university, or maybe it's quitting your job, or leaving your marriage, or coming out, whatever it is. But I feel like that bold move is going to really help you get going on this, and I feel like it will only gain momentum, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. So that's everything that I see for you. Thank you so much if you've stayed till the end. It's really appreciated. I hope this reading resonated and you found some use in it. Do comment down below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in another reading. See you later. Hello to my lovely pile 2. I hope you are doing well. So if you chose Citrine, this is your reading. So we're looking at what is blocking you and how to move past it. So as I said in the intro, this reading, you know, can be a little bit triggering. So it is meant for, you know, self-reflection. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, that really does not sound like me, then that is absolutely fine. Just either pick another pile, or there's many YouTubers that have readings similar to this and are amazing. So do check out some of this. So yeah, let's get started on what is blocking you. So this can be in love, it can be in life in general. Oh, sorry, I feel like I've got a runny nose. Right. We have, for tarot, we have the Emperor, 8 of Wands, Temperance, 7 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. You have Obedience and Playful. So for you guys, again, I feel like, you know, you you'll know if this is you or not, I feel like, within the first bit of this reading. So the block that I am getting the sense of for you, I see the Emperor, and I'm getting a sense of a lot of fire energy, a lot of passion, which, you know, is a good thing. I'm not saying that that is a block at all. However, I feel like you're very, obviously the Emperor is quite authoritarian, and I'm seeing this obedience card as well. So I feel like you have so much drive, and that is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, that is a very good thing. Right, I'm just going to try turning on the lamp 1 second. Okay, that's better. It's a bit brighter now. So obviously I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. It's good to have drive because, you know, you can succeed. However, I feel like the balance in your life, with this Temperance card being the very centre of your spread, is, I feel like this should go here and that should go there, is how I really do see this. Is that you have all this drive and all this passion to work, and I feel like you work towards like one goal. I feel like this goal probably is work related, career orientated, you know, maybe even it's all about money and that kind of thing. So I feel like you focus so much on that you kind of forget to enjoy your life. It's kind of like this is the dark side, and then the lighter side of life, the fun side. Not that work is dark, but, you know, the lighter side of life you kind of forget about. You have playful down here. I feel like this is something that your life maybe lacks at times, is that kind of playful energy, that ability to go out and enjoy yourself. And I feel like this is why both the 7 of Cups and 3 of Cups are reversed here, because it's being blocked. It's something that you're not having. 7 of Cups can be about options, but I feel like it can be about, you know, just general dreaminess as well. Having a good time. You know, with that dreaminess, there's something beautiful about having lots of different options of what you could do, and you know, being okay if your life doesn't turn out one way because you've got lots of other options. I just saw 444. Also you have 44 there. Definitely there is that beauty, whereas I feel like you guys are so focused on one thing and one thing only, and you're so driven to achieve it. There's always the question of what happens if you don't get it. What happens if you can't achieve it? What happens then? It reminds me of kind of young sportsmen, how there's often with these young men, they put so much effort and so much of their life goes into training to be like a football, soccer player, and they get to maybe 19, 20, and they get released from their club, and that's it. They're done with football. But they put so much energy into that they never thought about what else they could do with their life. So unfortunately, a lot of them become depressed. They become, you know, it can be a real issue for these young men. And I'm kind of maybe not as dramatic as that for you, but I feel like there's a case of what happens if that doesn't work. There's just it's like that or nothing. And I feel like you need to work out that you have all this other potential, and you know, just being able to have fun as well. Like, life shouldn't just be work. There needs to be a balance. That Temperance is all about blending the light and the dark. So it's about, you know, maybe having a job where you can have a better home life balance, or being able to blend, you know, have a job that blends your passion with your work. Because you have the Three of Cups here again reversed. Three of Cups came up in the first reading, so I do see this as being about having, you know, just having fun, having joy, going out, enjoying yourself, having friends that, you know, are supporting you and supporting your goals, rather than just feeling very isolated and like you're doing everything alone. So what we'll do is look at how to overcome this. So we have 9 of Swords, we have King of Swords, 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. And then we have some oracle cards. We have Endless Possibilities, 38, Seeing Beyond, and then Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. So for you guys, I feel like how you need to work through this. So 9 of Swords, there's a lot of sword energy here, so I think a lot of this is partly, you know, is working through it in your mind, and you've got that work through your fears here. So I feel like that is, you know, 9 of Swords is overcoming that lying awake at 4 AM. So whatever it is, maybe it is that you are worried that you are not going to achieve, and this is why you work so damn hard all of the time. I feel like there's that need for you to work through your fears, like mentally work out what it is. Like, I feel like maybe you have a fear of not being good enough, but I feel like the King of Swords is here for you to logically work through this. I don't think it needs to be deep shadow work or anything like that. I think there's a need for you to logically look at your life and be like, why am I so scared of this? Like, I've always achieved, I've always done this, like, why can't I have some fun in my life? Why can't I do this? Why can't I explore? I think, you know, there is a need for you to master your mind a little bit here with that King of Swords coming up. You know, be the one that is mastering your own thoughts. Don't let your thoughts run wild in your mind, because you're the one that can control it. And also, by controlling your thoughts, you're controlling what you're then manifesting into your life. And I actually quite like the 10 of Swords in the Light Seers tarot, because usually 10 of Swords, the person will have 10 swords in their body. It looks very much like the person is dead. You know, it's quite a dark card. So this card, I feel like, you know, the swords here are the crows. They are crows. And it's like they're flying away. So I feel like all this negativity can just fly away, and you can have a sort of a dawn on like a new time for you. A time where there is that kind of more light in your life. But I do think it's a case of just working out what your fears truly are, and just almost working through that. You have 5 of Pentacles. Maybe for some of you, you're just very worried about kind of ending up, so 5 of Pentacles can be about being like destitute, kind of without money, and maybe that is what you worry about. Like, you worry about finances, so you're just constantly working hard to make sure you have loads of money. But there is a need to, you know, you have that seeing beyond, you know, see beyond money, see beyond the material stuff, and work out what is missing in your life right now. Because I feel like, you know, what's missing is that more spiritual side. This what I'm seeing here is a lack of cups, and that's what was in behind there as well, was the things that are in reverse were the cups. There's just a lack of that kind of joy and like the more emotional side in your life. So I do think that is something that you need to work on, and something you need to bring into your life more of, because you have this card, endless opportunities, and I feel like that is something that you have which you probably don't actually realise, with your focus being so much on just one thing, kind of with that Seven of Cups being reversed. Seven of Cups is about different opportunities and different possibilities, and this card is saying that you have endless endless possibilities for your life. No one just has one thing that is meant for them, and this is true for you as well. You have so many different things to explore, and it's just such a shame for you to pigeonhole yourself in just doing one thing and kind of missing out on all the different opportunities that life has. And there's, you know, this card is about seeing beyond like reality, but I feel I'm just reading this mainly as just seeing beyond, you know, what it is you do at the moment. Just looking for different possibilities and different opportunities, not just thinking, oh right, this is going to be my life for until I die, like I'm just going to plug away doing this every single day. There are different opportunities. You will have to seek them out, but I feel like when you start to manifest them and start working on them, you know, I feel like you will be successful. This is the Three of Wands. You know, you've put in that effort, and it's all about watching your ships come in, watching things come back to you. So I feel like when you put in this effort, it's going to come back to you like twofold. I feel like you're clearly very driven and have great ability for success. So I feel like there's, no matter what area of your life you put that energy into, you're going to see good returns. So yeah, that's everything that I see for you, part 2. If you enjoyed this reading, please do comment down below, give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much if you stuck with me this whole time, and I'll see you guys in another reading. Hey pile 3, if you chose the opalite crystal, this is your reading. So we're looking at what is blocking you. So this could be in love, in life. A lot of this has just felt more like in life, to be honest. So let's get into your reading. Do remember this can be triggering, so if you are watching this and you're like, oh, this doesn't sound like me, then it's probably not your reading, and that's okay. You can just either pick another pile, or, you know, there's other people with readings. So so what is blocking you? So you have, Knight of Pentacles, you have Two of Pentacles, you have the Moon, Temperance. So Temperance has come up in all of these readings so far. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. You have the cards Complicated, Fulfillment, and the Warrior. So in interesting, guys. You have 4 cards here that, when broken down, end up as 2. So you have obviously 2 pentacles. You have 20, which is a 2. You have the warrior, which is a 2, and then you have 11. So 1 plus 1 is another 2. So I think part of this, part of your block is maybe embracing this kind of duality that you have. It could be, you know, a shadow side. It could, so for a lot of these, I do feel like there is an element that's kind of ran through all of them, and it's about actually doing kind of more what you want to do, rather than maybe what others have wanted you to do, is one of the feelings that I'm really getting again from this one, with that kind of duality going on. So one thing that I do notice is that you have quite a bit of obviously Pentacles energy here. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles. Now obviously Pentacles energy is earth energy, and so earth energy is very much of material things, material things. It's like job, career, and I always think of Pentacles as the sensible one. Like, they're the ones that are gonna plan for their future. They're the ones that are gonna, you know, get the good jobs. It's obviously earth energy. So I feel like there is this side of you that I feel like is very much on the surface, that everyone sees. I bet people often think you probably are the sensible friend. I bet you give good advice. You're probably the one that people would turn to. And now, absolutely, that is not a flaw. That is not a block at all. I think that is something, you know, that is very good to have. It's good to be, there's times when it's good to be sensible. But I feel like there's very much this juggling act that you have at the moment. And I feel like it's, with the moon there, it makes me think of, so with that 2 of Pentacles and the moon, I feel like this juggling act is almost like the 2 sides of you. I am really seeing this as you guys having this real duality that you are struggling with. You have this complicated card. So I think that it is, you know, it is complicated. It's not straightforward. You may have a side to you that you just don't really know how to express. The book says, you know, drawing the symbol reminds you that sometimes there are so many elements to consider that it can be next to impossible to understand them all in a moment. And I feel like there's a need for you to come to terms with that you are a complex human being. Like, all of us are complex human beings. I think maybe sometimes you try and ignore this and you try and be the stable one for everyone. I think you try and, you know, I feel like this is who you want to be. You want to be the warrior for everyone. You want to be the one, seeing this card, it's always like, everything's going to be alright. And I feel like that's who you are for everyone. And I think sometimes that you forget to focus on yourself. I think you forget that it's okay for it to not be okay as well. So I do feel like you go through life wanting to be the stable one, and I feel like this means that maybe you are missing out on things. You have this like fulfillment card, and I feel like this is kind of the thing that you're missing out on. is that sense, maybe sometimes it is that sense of fulfillment. Maybe you've, you know, taken a job or chosen a lifestyle because it's stable, and you think, and with that complicated, you think, well, you know, life is simple now. But the only thing is, sometimes simple does mean boring. Complicated doesn't mean that it has to be dangerous or risky, but it just adds layers to life, a bit like the moon card. You know, you have these kind of layers. So you have the moon, and then you have the reflection, which is like another layer, and then you have below and like the depths of this lake. So there's like all these different layers. So if you have, this is actually you, your reflection is slightly different, and then when you go further down you can still kind of see the moon, but it's gonna, if you looked up, which I've done while I've dived before at night, if the moon is bright enough and you kind of look at it from below for a little bit, you can still see the moon, until it becomes obviously too distorted and it's just light at that point. This is, you know, this is you. There's lots of different layers to you, and I feel like this is, you know, this is the surface, and that's what everyone sees. They see this like very put together, it's like crystal clear version, but there is these versions of you where it's not quite so clear, and it does become, there's just, you know, to the point where it's then just little bits of you, if that makes sense. I feel like it makes sense in my mind, and all these little bits eventually would get put together to look like this. But I feel like what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you need to honour the different layers of yourself. And then when we're talking about duality as well, what's interesting is, you know, energy of Pisces, which is 2 fish, and then when you think of temperance, you often think of the angel pouring to, you know, pouring from a jug into a cup, and kind of like, it can be about balancing and that kind of alchemy and mixing. So there's a lot of duality. So I feel like there's a need for you, and what's blocking you is this kind of inability to maybe mix this kind of need to be stable with things that are going to make you happy and that are more interesting in life. And what you need to do is work out how to nurture these aspects. So what we'll do is look at them in more detail. So this is, how can you overcome it? So we have the Queen of Cups. We have 6 of Cups, 8 of Wands, 6 of Swords, and King of Cups. Or it might be the other way around. Sorry, no, that was the King of Cups and this is the Queen of Cups. Sorry, it's sometimes hard to tell, but that's got the air bubble, so that is the King. Then we have Wish Upon a Star, Let It Go, and Waking the Lion. And conclusions are within reach. So, for you guys, how I think you're going to overcome it. So I think it's interesting how you have the King and Queen of Cups. So I feel like part of this for some of you is almost like finding your kind of like counterpart, someone that's going to really bring this out of you and kind of mixes up your life a little bit. Because I feel like maybe you're so used to being the one being dependent, having people dependent on you, that I feel like you need someone that you can rely on, so you can almost experiment and mess up and you feel like there's someone to catch you. obviously, if I don't feel like you should, you know, necessarily rely on someone, but I feel like for some of you that's going to help. It's like having a supportive partner, but there is this need to like rely on yourself. With the King and the Queen of Cups, this is all about nurturing and mastering. So I feel like there's a need for you to, I feel like, delving to really master this duality is how I feel like. You need to go deep within you, do maybe some like meditations and even some shadow work with that moon card there, and just working out what it is, you know, subconsciously. Why do you feel the need to be the one that everyone depends on? Because I feel like that is probably the root of it. It's nice to feel needed, but to the point where I feel like you probably do, you're kind of like a detriment, because you're not living your best possible life. Also what I'm seeing here is, so you've got 2 sixes, which makes me think of the Lovers, and with that kind of Lovers energy, that kind of 6 energy, it's all about I feel like finding your passion is what I'm hearing. Finding what it is that is going to kind of set you alight. You've got that waking the lion as well, and which is that kind of, makes me think of really bold, strong Leo energy, being super confident and just going out into the world and kind of doing what you want. So whether what you want to do is something like, maybe it's something that's going to take confidence, whether it is you're like a secret singer or something like along that lines, where you're going to be doing things in front of people, or you're putting yourself out there, whatever your craft is. I feel like there is a need to awaken this like subconscious lion, this inner confidence that you have, because once you do that, I feel like you can take on anything, like absolutely anything. And I think for you, the major block, or the major thing to overcome is kind of, I'm seeing it as like movement, like actually making changes. I feel like you, for maybe too long, have been okay with just plodding along, not really moving, staying quite stagnant. But I feel like with that 8 of Wands and the 6 of Swords, it's time to start making the changes that you can make. So whether it's just something small, whether it's like enrolling in a class just on your free time, or whatever it is, start making changes that are going to change your life. Because I feel like maybe you kind of have just stagnated a little bit. And then the other cards you have, it's like Wish Upon a Star. So what is it that is your heart's desire? Whatever it is that is your heart's desire, what it is that is your wish, you know, put that intention, put that out into the universe. Start manifesting it, start working towards it, start planning and strategizing and doing things to make it come true. Because everyone should do what it is that's going to make their heart happy. Because I feel like doing that will make the world generally a much better place as well. And I feel like let go of anything that has been holding you back. As I said, I feel like maybe there is some work to be done at understanding why you feel like you need to be the one that's depended on. So look into that, and then when you work out what it is, let it go. And there's like a need, sometimes it can be a need to almost like forgive yourself as well. And I think I can never say it. It's the Ho'oponopono meditation or prayer. So it's all about saying that you forgive, and you know you love them, you love the person. But this can be yourself, so it can all be about forgiveness. So if you do get guilt for feeling like you have wasted time, or you know, guilt for not following your dreams, let go of forgive yourself as well, because sometimes people really beat themselves up over things like, oh, I know I did it as well, when like I feel like there's a lot of my adult life I kind of wasted by not have followed what I wanted to do when I was younger. So if I had done what I'd always wanted to do, which was marine biology, instead I did a degree in biochemistry, and I've always felt like a lot of my life got delayed because I did something that I didn't really like. I enjoyed it to a good degree, but it wasn't what I was really passionate about. So like for me, like I know this is, you know, this probably was relevant to me a couple of years ago, but there is a need to forgive yourself for, you know, if you have been not taking action, or you felt like maybe you took the wrong actions when you were younger, you know, do learn to forgive yourself, because it's not your fault. You're just acting on what you thought was best at the time. It's only with, you know, hindsight, as they say, is 20/20. Like only when we're older, wiser, and we can look back, we think, oh, I made the wrong choice there. So definitely do learn to forgive yourself as well. And then we have conclusions are within reach. So I think, you know, Spirit is saying that I feel like this is something that can be quickly resolved. I feel like it is, like, and I think that you're getting there as well. I feel like you're watching this, but you're watching it and like, yep, I know all this. So, you know, Spirit is saying you are getting there. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much. Do hit like, do hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. It's really appreciated. And, you know, for all the likes and comments and that you guys give me as well. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in another video. See you later.